Today we have Valerie Mills. Hello, Valerie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So you are a stepmom, or excuse me, you were a stepmom, but you adopted your stepdaughter.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about from the beginning to the end, right?
Okay.
Okay. So how old was she when y'all got together? Give us all the juice.
Okay, so the first time she lived with us, me and her dad, we were married. She was 7. We took her from her mom for a less than healthy home living situation. She lived with us for about 3 years. And then I ended up getting cancer, and her dad got on drugs. Mom got off drugs. So she went back to mom. And then every like 2 or 3 years since then, she has been removed from mom's care and put in foster care. And then now she lives with me. It's been 3 years.
Wow. Well, I'm so sorry that you had to go through the cancer thing. Are you
Thank you.
doing better?
Yes, I am 8 years cancer free.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
So you're no longer with her dad.
No, we have been divorced since 2020.
Wow.
Yes.
So you were in her life as stepmom.
Uh-huh.
You got cancer. She went back to mom's. You and dad split up. She kind of bounced back and forth.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then you ended up adopting her.
Yeah, she has actually been in and out of foster care since she was 2 years old.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, the first time she was removed, she was actually going to be adopted by a really good family. And I, at that point, I kind of wish that the adoption would have gone through because that would have been the best life that she could have ever had. And in fact, we are still in contact with that family. Um, so when that was going to be adoption, mom got sober again and she got her back. So since then she's lived with her grandpa, her dad's dad, a couple of different times. She has been placed with her mom's ex-husband's mom a couple of different times. So she's lived in a lot of different homes since she was 2 years old. And it seems to be about every 2 or 3 years that she was removed and then sent back home.
Does she still see her mom or her
No,
dad?
no. Currently her dad is incarcerated, and her mom, we actually saw her last February. Uh, yeah, I think it was February or March last year, after her birthday. Um, and I have tried to make contact with mom, say, hey, this visit went kind of well. She wants to see you. And no contact. She said the mom was like, yeah, we'll set something up. I've reached out a couple times, no response. Mom leaves me on read on Messenger. So I just kind of gave up, and we just don't really have anything to do with her. I don't keep her informed. We don't talk to that side of the family. Um, yeah, there's no contact.
Wow. So
Yeah,
how old is stepdaughter now?
she just turned 16.
Okay. And you've been her mom legally for how long?
3 years this July.
Okay. And how is she handling all this? I mean, I'm sure she's grateful for you, but how is she handling her dad being in jail or her mom not really having anything to do with her? Um,
She's okay with it. Dad, she's never really had a relationship with him. I've left the lines of communication open between the two of them, but she says he's never been in my life. I don't need him. I don't really have any desire to start having him in my life. So he has sent her a couple of letters from being in prison. She doesn't even open them. I keep them so later on down the road, if she decides that she wants them, she can have them, but she's made it very clear she doesn't want anything to do with him. And her mom, it's just rather disappointing because, that's mom. Everybody's mom is important to them, no matter what damage they do to that person. But she's realizing that mom loves her, but doesn't love her the way she deserves to be loved. And so she's just kind of, I think she's just kind of numb to it. And it's not
Right.
something that we really discuss, because she tries to protect me from talking about her mom because she knows how it will upset me and make me mad at mom. Because
Right.
mom was my childhood best friend.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm starting to remember things now.
Yes.
So, mom was your childhood best friend,
Hmm.
and is that why you think you're trying to keep that relationship with her and her daughter?
Um, I always told the daughter that I'm your mom for all intensive care purposes, but I will never replace your biological mom. I will never try to replace her, but I am here to make sure that you do not ever have to go through what you endured living with her again.
Right.
And one of my biggest fears is that when she turns 18, she's going to end up having a relationship with her mom and go down a bad road with her mom. And she said she's not, but that's always a fear.
Hmm.
And like, I never want to cut anybody on her mom's side of the family out, but I also respect the daughter's um, position on, I don't want anything to do with them.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, we all know she could change her mind,
Uh huh.
and it could hurt you,
Yeah.
but you have given her a chance that she didn't have otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what happens when she turns 18, right?
Yep.
And that's what you've got to focus on, is that you helped her get to 18 safely.
Yes. It's definitely been a wild and crazy ride the last several years.
Yeah. So is she doing well in school? And
Yeah, she has all A's and B's. We are actually getting ready to move. We live out in the country now. I'm selling my house. We're moving closer to the city. She's gonna be going to a bigger school and a better qualified school. And she says the school that she goes to now, it's not, it doesn't like complicate her mind enough. It's boring.
right.
So she's going to get the opportunity to have a higher education.
Good.
Yeah, I'm really excited. She is really smart. Like, she is really brilliant in science. Her science teacher has sent me emails saying this child can do formulas in her head that I can't even do.
Right.
So she's pretty smart.
So when y'all move, are y'all going to be further away from Biomom? Is Biomom still in the same city?
I honestly don't know where she lives.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to think that we would be maybe about the same distance, because I think that Biomom lives in the same city that they've always lived in, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know if she has a car. I don't know if she has a job. I don't know anything about her.
She just disappeared.
Yeah, I do follow her on Facebook because for some reason, her posts are always public, and she's always talking about her husband, who is also in prison. And it's never like, every now and then I will see a memory shared of the kids when they were little, but there's never anything recent, current about, I miss my kids. I wish there was something. It's always about relationships and her husband.
And her husband isn't your ex.
No,
Okay.
she's married to somebody else. And he was actually a pretty decent stepfather, but not somebody is that I would want my children to live around.
Right. Now, how hard was it for you to get custody of her?
Not hard at all. So when she was in foster care, I started going to family court. I remember the first time I went to court, I was there in person. Her mom was on the phone. And when the judge named off everybody in the room, her mom like freaked out, yelled at the judge, started cussing. Why is she here? She has no business being here. And the judge was like, you need to talk to your attorney. And so I went to every single court hearing. Mom went to, I think, one. And it was her dad signed over his rights. He went to court with me. He had an attorney. He willingly signed over everything. Mom, she didn't fight it, but she didn't make it to where it would just be one and done. Like we
Right.
had to go through the entire process. And all my kids, they have they're part Indian. So we had to get their Indian heritage involved, which scared me because when there's Indian heritage involved, they want Indian people to be placed with other Indian people.
Hmm.
But since I had her half siblings, that made it so much easier.
Good. So how many kids do you have total?
Three.
And two of those are with your ex,
Yes.
so they're her half siblings.
Yes.
So that probably makes it feel more like a family, right?
Yes.
Because they're related.
Yep. She gets to be with her brothers. And I mean, I've always considered myself mom to her. So she's got, I don't know if we talked previously about, she's got six other siblings, like six siblings total with her dad. So it's hard because, like, with my two boys, they don't know all their other siblings. So I'm just thankful that they at least get to have a relationship with one. And she's actually pretty close to my oldest, who is 22.
Okay. So how long were you and Bio Dad together?
Um, the second time, so we got married and divorced once, and then had a 9 year gap, and then got married in 2017 and split up in 2019 and divorced in 2020.
Wow.
So not very long the second time around.
Yeah. What made you try again?
So our 9 year gap, he ended up going to prison for a couple of years, and he moved to a different state. And while he was gone, I had a relationship with somebody, but towards the end of that relationship, him and I started talking. I started visiting him. I was taking our boys to go visit him, and I could see that he had become a different person, and he was actually trying. So I figured when he got out, I would give him that second chance. Things went good for a while, and then like life kind of fell apart when I found out I had cancer.
And I mean, of course, that's something that's horrible, right?
Yeah.
And is it something that he just couldn't deal with?
Um, I'm not really sure. Like I found out that he had been like on drugs his whole life. He was just really good at hiding it. Like he worked, he was a normal human being. So when I found out that I had cancer, my parents stepped in, and I ended up going to staying with my mom and my stepdad because he was working, so he was going to work and take care of the kids. Um, and it was just, and my parents took care of me. He took care of everything else. So he told me it was really hard for him to deal with because how do you handle the person you love? They might die.
Hmm.
But what he was showing me was the complete opposite of that because, like, he didn't come to any of my treatments. He wasn't there when I had my chemo radiation. Well, he was there for one appointment. Um, he only came to visit me and my parents a couple of times. Every time I had admitting to the hospital, he would come visit for a little bit and then he would leave. I think of every time I was admitted to the hospital, he stayed overnight with me one time, and he was more concerned with like my cell phone and what was going on in his life than what was going on with my health. So he
Oh.
wasn't really involved that much.
Did you make the decision to end it?
The marriage,
Yeah.
yeah. So we had a pretty bad altercation a year after I finished treatment, and it landed me in the hospital. And I ended up, I'm not proud, but I ended up having trying to kill myself.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That we had, like, he almost killed me. So after that, when I got home from the hospital, I went and I filed charges against him and filed for divorce.
Wow.
Yeah, it was rough.
So why did you try to kill yourself? If you don't mind talking about that for a second.
Just I just beat cancer. I my family was like the family was just having a really hard time with everything. I was on antidepressants. I hadn't worked for a whole year. So I just had a lot going on mentally. And then you add my husband assaulting me. Like he put his arm around my neck and like my whole body was bruised. Where I had surgery, I had a tumor removed from the right side of my neck. The whole right side of my face was one big massive bruise.
Oh, gosh.
And when it ended, it seemed like it took forever for that to end. When I went home, I sat on my bed and I was like, I can't live like this, so I just, I don't know. I guess I was afraid and didn't want to didn't want to go through that. Having cancer was really hard. So
But you
it's just,
beat it.
yeah, I did. But so I have like I still have side effects from it. Like I have dry mouth. So I'm constantly drinking water. I have troubles swallowing. Sometimes my words get like tongue tied, so I get twisted up, and it's embarrassing.
Girl, I do that too, and I don't have a reason.
I had to learn how to talk. I had to learn how to eat. I had to learn how to like use silverware again. And I lost a whole lot of weight. Which that was really good. But then I was self-conscious because before I had cancer, I was pretty hefty girl.
Mhm.
So it's just like everything was just stacked up, and it just, when that was like the final straw, like I just could not deal with it anymore. Also, while I was going through treatment, my oldest, he was going through his own thing with my neighbor. They were accusing him of some stuff that was found out not to be true. But this whole time, mom is going through treatment. Son is having to go through court every other day. He wasn't able to go outside. He was kicked out of school. He was in eighth grade. He like his whole life was just turned upside down. And so there was just a lot of things that went on that just at that moment of the assault hit me all at once.
And do you feel like that it would just be easier for you, not necessarily everybody around you, but just you to just be gone?
Yeah, it,
So,
it was hard.
who saved you?
I had sent a text to everybody in my family that said I'm sorry. And then I don't remember anything after that. My mom told me, well, my ex-husband told me that he came home, kicked in the door, took me to the hospital.
The one that abused you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was his proud moment.
Mhm.
I abuse you, and then I'm going to turn around and be your hero. So the assault was a Thursday night. I was supposed to go to work. I had just gotten a job at Ford. So when all that happened, I ended up losing my job because I was in the hospital, but I
Yeah.
getting it back. So that was good. Uh, when I woke up in the hospital Saturday morning, we went to the hospital Thursday, woke up Saturday. He was there for about 5 minutes, said he'd be back, and I didn't see him for at least a month after that.
Wow.
While I was in the regular hospital, they transferred me to a facility to get me counseling and all that good stuff. He had cleaned out my bank account, my savings account. My kids, I didn't know where my children were. I had two dogs that were literally my life. He told me he was going to get rid of my dogs. My house was in disarray. He took a bunch of stuff out of my home that wasn't his. And it was just like a huge mess after that.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was all like the final straw.
So you didn't press charges until after you tried to kill yourself.
Yes. Because so the assault happened and then I had an overdose. I went to the to the hospital and then went to another hospital. When I got out of the second hospital, I immediately had a friend pick me up because he had my vehicle. I had a friend pick me up. We went to the police department and I filed charges right then. So as soon
Wow.
as I could, I filed charges.
Wow. I'm glad you filed charges.
Me too. And it really hurt because I at that time I was still shocked that everything had gone down the way it went down. And how is this man that I just beat cancer and I'm the mother of his children, how could he put his hands on me the way he did?
Yeah.
So was like he denied everything. When I worked at Ford, like I would be leaning over the truck, so I would have a couple of bruises here and there from constant repetitive movement on my skin. And so he played it off like all the bruises that I had on my body were from my job.
Wow. Is that why he's in jail now?
Yes. So he uh after after everything had happened, charges were filed. It took them probably almost a year to file charges. By then, he had changed everything about who he was. He was being better again. So I helped him with his attorney to get to not go to prison, to have probation. So he got charged with it. He got probation, and then after all that was done, um, he got with another girl, and he ended up assaulting her and left the state. And so they picked him up, and he's been in prison since then for violating his probation and doing this to another girl.
Wow. So how long has it been since your daughter saw him?
Um so she was still in foster care living with me. I allowed him to come over one time and visit with her. So
Mhm.
she only saw him maybe two or three times in the last maybe 5 years.
Okay. Now I know most of the time, well, at least in South Carolina that I'm familiar with, the judge won't let somebody sign their rights over unless there's somebody, another guy coming in to play dad, like adopt the child, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't have any pushback with that?
Nope. The state provided me an attorney. He was absolutely amazing. Um, and because that was one thing that I always wondered, like when you adopt somebody, don't you have to be a two-parent family? And you don't. And the fact that I had her siblings, I think that made it a lot easier.
Right.
Uh, they told me that it wouldn't be an issue, me being a single parent.
That's good.
I'm so thankful for that too, because I can't even imagine life without her in it.
Yeah. And do you have her in therapy or counseling or anything?
Right now, I do not. She has been for the last couple of years while in foster care. She had several different therapists, which that was really hard on her because a child like that needs stability and consistency. And when you have to start over with a new therapist, then she shuts down, and it takes a long time for her to open up. So since she has been with me, I had her in therapy with this. She had school-based therapy. We had a psychiatrist. I had her on medication. We had a lady come to our house 2 or 3 times a week. We discussed like if she had suicidal thoughts, what we have to do to take care of that. Yeah, she had all kinds of resources available to her, and we utilized all of them. Since her therapist, her school based therapist, went out on leave for a while. So I stopped therapy completely since then. And she's asked me to put her back in therapy. But with us getting ready to move, I don't think it's really necessary. Um,
Or not the
so,
right time?
yeah,
Yeah. Like maybe once you move and get settled a little bit. That way you're not having to yank her around again.
right. Yeah. Once we get everything situated and she starts new school, then we can find new services for her there.
Yeah. And how far away is that from where you live?
About an hour.
Oh, so it is a good little trek.
Yeah, from where we live now to where we're going, it's 45 minutes to an hour away.
How does she feel about leaving her friends?
How does she feel?
Hmm.
I know she's upset about it because she doesn't have very many friends. The friends that she has, you can probably count them on one hand. Um, they, I know they're all upset. I'm upset because I want her to be happy, but I want her to be in an environment. There's been stuff going on at our high school lately that I'm not comfortable with her being around. Uh, so I'm hoping having a better school, we won't have those issues. And I know with it being a bigger school, she's going to have no problem making friends. She says that she's not going to make friends, but I know this kid. She talks. She's going to make friends.
Yeah. So, what's her favorite subject?
Science.
Science.
Yes.
Yeah, you said she was good in science.
Yeah. She loves it.
Does she have plans of what she wants to do after high school?
We have talked about that a couple of times. I would like for her to go to college because with her being having Indian in her, she can get benefits from that. And with her being in foster care, I'm sure there's like scholarships and grants that she will get just for being a foster kid.
And probably being adopted too, right?
Yes, yes. So I would like for her to go to college, but it changes. One day she wants to go, one day she doesn't want to go. So she's getting ready to start she's a sophomore now. So when she starts her junior year, she will have a whole lot more opportunity to like look into dual credits if she wants to go to college. I'm not sure exactly what she wants to do when she grows up because it changes every now and then. But I know that she wants to do something with science.
Right. My son did the dual credit thing where they
Uh-huh.
took college classes in high school.
Uh-huh.
That's the best thing because he could have graduated with he could have graduated with his 2 year before he graduated from high school actually,
Wow.
but he decided to wait, so he graduated from high school and then 6 months later graduated from with his 2 year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it saves a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I hope she goes to college, but I feel like whatever she decides, it's going to be on her. She is so adamant on she wants to live on her own. She wants to do her own thing. She wants to be by herself. And as long as she's making money, she doesn't care what she's doing or where she lives. As long as she's making money and she's happy, that's all she cares about.
Yeah, got to make the money, right?
Yes. I just don't want, like, I know how the economy is. So, and I know how expensive things are going to be, and it's only going to get worse. And like, that's my biggest fear is that my children are going to struggle, and but they don't even care as long as they have money to do their day to day things and pay their bills. That's all they care about. They don't care about anything extra. They just want to maintain.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you have you had mentioned that there was somebody that was going to adopt stepdaughter when she was 2.
Uh-huh.
Why did that fall through?
Um, because mom found out and then wasn't having it and got clean and got her life back together and got her back.
But you still stay in touch with those people?
Yes, the daughter does. Last year for her birthday, we always do family dinners. She invited the other foster mom to come
Mhm.
and have us, and I got to meet her for the first time. So it was awkward, but it was. I'm really happy that they've been able to stay in touch. This woman, she's very nice. And the hardest thing that that other foster mom told me was that when she was removed from their care, it devastated them so bad that they stopped doing foster care after that.
Oh,
So that really broke my heart.
yeah. That's so sad.
Yeah, she seems like they seem like really good people. And so she like we went out and we had our family dinner, and then after that she came and picked up my daughter and took her out for the day, took her shopping, got her stuff, and it was great. I'm so glad that they have stayed in contact all these years.
Is somebody else to be there for your daughter?
Yep, and like I was told by my mom, it doesn't matter who it is to you, the more people that love your children, the happier and better off in life they will be. And she never understood that.
Yeah.
Like my daughter would always say, like, call me mom, or she would call her mom my name, and mom would be like, she's not your mom. She doesn't love you. I'm your mom. Like she would get really jealous. I'm like, you're like, it's not that big of a deal. She's a kid.
Yeah.
You want everybody to love your kid. The more people who love them, the happier they are, the more resources they have. And it's just all around beneficial to children to have more people love them.
Oh, I agree with that
Yes.
100%. The more people that love your kid, the better off they're going to be in life.
Yep.
But I don't want my baby calling somebody else mama.
That I totally understand. And she never did it on purpose. It was just an accident. You know, she's a little kid.
Yeah.
And she doesn't really understand what's going on other than I live with my mom. I'm taken. Now I live with my dad. And now here's this other person who steps in and takes care of me. So the first time after she was taken, after her dad gave her back to her mom, the year that I moved to my house now, um, I went to mom and I said, hey, I'm going to take her for the weekend. So she let me take her for the weekend. Well, dad decided I'm not giving her back. And when he decided that, like, we went a whole week. Uh, Daughter had probably over 100 missing assignments. Her and I sat in my room every single day. I did my homework. She did her homework, got her caught up on everything. And then while I was at work, dad turned off my internet, called mom, and had mom come pick her up. I told dad, I said, if you ever send her back to this environment, knowing what I'm telling you, I can't have you in my life. So when he
Wow.
did that, within a month, I moved.
Wow.
I moved to a house bigger than what I was in. So that way, my goal was to make sure that I got custody of this kid and she never had to worry about stability again. And that's exactly what I did.
That's awesome.
Thanks. I love it. I'm so glad. There's times where she makes me mad and I'm like, oh, why did I pick you? And she's like, well, you fought for me. And she's like, now you're stuck with me. And it's I don't regret anything. It's was definitely something to experience.
Yeah. I can see it now when y'all get into it. She's like, well, you the one that picked me.
Yep, and she says that to me all the time. Well, that was your choice. I'm like, well, I mean, you can go live with your mom. She's like, nope, I'm good. If she gets mad at me, she'll just go in her room and close her door.
Like a normal mom.
Yep,
Yep.
yep. She doesn't call me mom. She still calls me by my name, which I'm okay with that. But to her school people and her friends, I'm mom.
Right.
So it's just between me and her that I'm not mom. In fact, the first year that she was with me, I have a letter on my refrigerator now that she wrote me telling me, thank you for being a mom. And I read that and I'm telling you what, I broke down and I gave her the biggest hug. I'm like, I know I'm not your mom, but I am. And I will always be your mother. I don't care what goes on. I am your mother.
That is so sweet.
And we share the same last name. So it's even better.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That makes it so much easier.
Yes.
Now, if she did decide to go for whatever reason to live with bio mom, say in 6 months, bio mom would have to go to court to get custody of her through from you, right?
Like before she turns 18,
Yeah, before she turns 18.
uh, I yeah, she would have to, yeah, because her mom's rights were stripped.
Yeah. Yep. But that's not
That'll
gonna happen. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
that'll never happen though.
Yeah. Well, mom can't stay around.
No, and she knows it. And what really broke my heart is right before the adoption was finalized, we were in contact with her aunt and her grandma. And my daughter wanted to have one last meeting with her mom to tell her how she made her feel growing up. And aunt and grandma knew about this. And the aunt and grandma went and told the mom that we were going to do this and we were going to tell her what a crappy mom she was and we were going to make her life miserable and we were going to tell her how much she hated her, which that was not ever going to happen. She just needed to have some kind of closure.
Right.
So when that happened, we cut that side of the family out. And so I had to tell my daughter, like, I went and I found like stuff popped up on my Facebook and about closure. And one thing was, you do not have to have closure by talking to them. Them showing their actions to you should be closure enough for you.
Right.
And so I sent that to her and I'm like, you don't have to tell her how you feel for her for you to have closure. You just need to have closure knowing that she doesn't want anything to do with you,
Yeah.
because she proved it over and over that she doesn't really want to be a mom. And through all the court processes, everything, like, mom never had any contact, didn't show up for anything. And it was just like, that should tell you enough that that should be your closure right there.
Right.
And I always felt bad saying that to her, but I don't want to sugarcoat it. I'm trying to be as realistic as I can. So she knows that, I mean, this is life. This is just, unfortunately, this is how life is.
Right. Well, it sounds like that she has got a better chance in life because of you.
I sure hope so.
And I'm so thankful that you were strong enough to beat cancer and that you were also strong enough to file charges against your ex and that you're doing right by your kids and by your daughter.
I sure do the best I can. It's sometimes it's a struggle, but I cannot give up. And after going to the hospital after that assault, like, I made a promise to myself, like, I will never put my children through that. Um, Daughter, while she was in foster care, and even once with me, she had tried to kill herself a couple times. So, like, we have had conversations like, we cannot be without one another. We have to be in each other's lives forever, no matter what. And if you have a problem, you come to me. And she's like my best friend. Even now, I talk to her about things that I probably shouldn't talk to my kid about, but
Hmm.
I trust her. And she's not some 16-year-old. She has the mentality of somebody my age, because
Hmm.
she has been through so much more than what any adult has probably never been through in their lifetime.
Yeah.
So she understands a lot, and uh, it baffles me and it wows me that I tell this kid something and she's like, "Look, Valerie, this is what needs to happen. You need to stop." And she'll put me in my place. She has no problem putting me in my place, and I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And then if I'm wrong on something, she will absolutely call me out. And if we argue about it, she's like, "Look, here's the proof."
There you go.
She'll put me in my place, so it's great.
Yeah, it sounds like you needed her as much as she needed you.
Yep. I think she was definitely a void filled.
Yeah. Now, when does her dad get out?
I think October of this year.
Wow. So that could throw some hiccups and things.
Well,
Well, he doesn't have any rights.
no, he doesn't. And he used to tell me before he got locked back up, um, like, when the adoption was final, we did a name change for the daughter. And he wasn't having that. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like, this is not your kid anymore. She's your blood, but she is not your child. This is mine. You do not have any say on what I do. You do not have any control over what I do. You cannot tell me what to do. If you're in her life, it's strictly because I'm allowing you and she is allowing you. And if she doesn't want to be in your life, then I'm not going to make her do that.
Right.
And
Right.
he doesn't have to accept it, but he has to take it as it is.
Yeah. Well, Valerie, thank you so much for being a guest on our podcast again.
I was
And
found your email. I was like, hey, we need to do a follow up.
yes, definitely. Um, and things took a turn, right?
Yes, I never, the first time we had this conversation, I never in a million years thought that I would be adopting this child ever.
And look at here. Now your
I'm
mom.
happy.
Yes, and I'm happy for you.
Thank
And
you.
it makes me wonder how many other stepmoms have adopted their stepkids. I actually have a friend that I know she adopted her stepkid. And I guess it was her boyfriend's daughter and the
Mhm.
boyfriend died and she ended up adopting the kid. Um, but I wonder how many more other stepmoms out there end up adopting their stepkids.
I love it. It's, when there are parents who don't step up and there are other parents who are not related, that do step up, I feel like those are the most incredible people ever,
Mhm.
because they're giving a child a chance to be a part of something that they were never really a part of.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and that child, like, whether or not they tell you thank you or they appreciate it, you know deep down inside that they love you so much for doing what you did.
Right. You've given her an opportunity that she wouldn't have had otherwise.
Right.
Yep. Well, stay in touch and come back in a couple of years and let us know how things are going.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye.